The hair you have today is just a reflection of the decisions you made yesterday. Here's how to turn it around. This is Back to the Barber, where scalp conditions are met and maintained. It's your host, AQBS, but most importantly, a fellow client. Hope all is well today, gents. The primary topic is the tale of hair regrowth, ancient hair truths, seconded by other relevant information and commentary. So let's get started. I gave you guys a 60-second preview a couple of days back, so this will be the full version of the tale of hair regrowth. Now, we can complicate things and talk about all the different products you can use, the different type of tools you can use. I've pretty much studied them all and had to figure out fundamentally what they were doing or not doing. But I really had to divide the scalp into really three things primarily. That is an omega scalp. That is a scalp that is not struggling or suffering with any type of hair loss. That is a male pattern balding or androgenetic alopecia scalp, which most men will care about. It affects us from 17 years of age to 77. And last but not least, the scalp that has another type of problem, such as alopecia areata, where it's more or less like a chronic disease or some sort of immune response. Okay. In my case, I focus on male pattern balding or androgenetic alopecia, anything that's affiliated with that, such as a receding hairline, thinning, crowning, diffusion, just what affects most men, right? It can manifest as hair loss slowly, or it can do the whole Hamilton-Norwood pattern that many of us see. Now, these ancient hair truths will seem simplistic, but if you really pay attention to them, you can reverse any type of hair loss, right? With the right products and tools. It'll take you some time considerations, but listen up, it will work, okay? So number one, what is tight make loose? This goes for muscles, scalp tension, and even hairstyles. What do I mean by that? Simply saying that there are muscles in the scalp, mainly on the occiput and the temporalis, the sides and the back. These muscles, a lot of times, just like the muscles in your body, become rigid and they become locked to a specific position. And when they do that, the gallia or the top of the head kind of gets locked into that position. It does not have the same type of circulation as the sides. It is dependent on the sides for circulation. Thus, if they become locked, calcified, and fibrosis, they will pretty much lock out the gallia or the top of your head. This is why only the top of the head goes bald. The sides have the muscle. It has the arteries and the veins working. When the gallia or the surrounding area of the scalp, the sides and the back, constrict, it pretty much just locks the gallia out. And then what happens is that tension, that compression causes hair loss. So what is tight make loose, even for hairstyles, okay? Number two, what is heavy make lighter? Your scalp is dense and fibrotic and calcified when you're balding. Even if you have hair at the top of your head on the sides, if you're starting to see your hairline move back, touch the scalp skin and you will find that how does your forehead skin move back, right? It seems to be a natural progression, but it's really not. If you were to use a derma roller or take a microscope and take a look, you'll see that those pores are different. Your hairline doesn't move back. What happens is the pores or the follicles become deactivated and the skin overgrows them, right? So you want to make sure that the scalp skin stays nice and supple and not so heavy and dense. This heavy and denseness, where it condenses down from something soft and supple to like a rubber, that causes hair loss. Also, if you have heavy hair, that causes a stress, like a tension stress, you'll lose hair as well too. Number three, what is dry make wet? Even if you have dry hair, it breaks, it's brittle, right? The same thing with your scalp. Underneath the dermis, that layer is dry. Now, obviously, if you took a pin and stuck it in there, you would cause it to bleed, and you'll say, well, it's wet. What I'm trying to get to is the lipids, the cholesterol, the calcium, all these things are drying up. When these things are drying up, it causes the scalp to go from a supple, soft tissue to hard tissue, then to scarred tissue. You want to make sure that the fat, collagen, lipids, all these things that are beneath the dermis or the top layer of the skin stays liquidy. DHT tries to suppress inflammation, but what it actually does to it actually strips the fat away from it, and it dries the fat, collagen, lipids. And when these things dry, everything again gets locked into position where the follicles can't eat or breathe, and you lose hair. So DHT needs to be suppressed because it makes what was once wet dry. Number 4, what does masculine make feminine? Follicles are feminist. Your beard hair stays. That's androgens, that's DHT, that's test, it's fine. The leg hairs, masculine. The chin hairs, masculine. The ear hairs, masculine. Every other hair on your body is pretty much masculine, chest hairs, right? Scalp hairs, though, are feminine. They're feminists. They don't want any parts of DHT or any super male hormones. This is why women with more estrogen have the longer hair. This is why men with lower testosterone in some ethnicities have beautiful hair, right? When those guys start really, let's just say, pushing their testosterone, building themselves up, they won't have as much estrogen. Their hair won't look like that. If you ever notice a male that looks more feminized, a lot of times it's estrogen, right? He'll have better hair too, okay? So you want to make sure you create an environment, at least topically, where the androgens or the test or the masculine hormones are not dominant. You want your prostate dominated scalp to be an estrogen or uterine dominated scalp, okay? That's number 4. What is masculine make feminine? And number 5, what is inflamed make cool? Another way of saying this is what is hot make cold. Infection, inflammation, and acne needs to be medicated. Infection causes the body to want to inflame itself up in order to get rid of it. And a lot of times this is due to the pathogen or the protein or whatever is causing this immune reaction, right? It's still there. So as long as you have these pathogens in your blood or the pathogens topically or the what we call a demodex or some sort of bacteria in the gut that has made its way to the scalp, if it's inflamed, you need to make it cool. How do you make it cool? You got to get rid of the infection, just like you would get rid of any other infection, right? Topicals, certain herbs are antibacterial, antifungal, anti-yeast. You have to look for those things. But what is inflamed make cool. That's just the rule. That's what it is, right? And the bonus tip I talked about is use absorbable minerals and vitamins. If your stomach loves it, your scalp will love it too. If you use things that are antioxidants, nutritious, and has vitamins and minerals for the stomach, then so will the scalp benefit from it, okay? If you want to use topicals, yes, you can use human ingenuity products. Yes, you can use synthetics. But keep in mind, those things will not grow the hair as much as it will stop something from happening, right? But if you want to grow hair, then you want to feed it. You have to compensate because your body is not doing it successfully by itself. So these are the 5 points, the tail of hair regrowth. What is tight, make loose. What is heavy, make lighter. What is dry, make wet. What is masculine, make feminine. And finally, what is inflamed, make cool. Okay? So hopefully something here has helped you to halt hair loss and or restore it. If so, hit the like or subscribe. If not, give another video a chance. I am pretty sure you will find something interesting. But if I can do it, you all can do it too. Let's get you back to the barber.